Hi, welcome to another DrumWise Meets. Today, I'm here with Joe Lazarus. So Joe, what age did you get into drums and what bands or artists inspired you initially?
Well, bit of a crazy story, really. My uncle plays bass in Iron Maiden. Uh, so when I was 4 years old, I went to watch Maiden play at Donington Monsters of Rock in 1992. And Nico's drum tech just took my hand and took me around the back of his kit and sat me down and then just opened this curtain and then there he was sat there, playing that gig, and I just remember it clear as day, just being like, "That looks so much fun. I want to do that. That looks really cool. Like, what he's doing with his arms and his leg. Obviously, he had a huge kit as well. Um, so yeah, I bugged my mum for a kit and got one for Christmas that year. So I was 4 when I started playing. Um, and then that was it really. I just taught myself basically, just studied him, watched him at gigs, carried on watching him, and then just I used to just learn by just listening to music and playing along the songs because it felt like you were playing in the band. So yeah, that's how I started playing. Really, it was just a random. I always think to myself, like, had he not done that day, or if it would have had the same effect if it was on a different day, maybe. I don't know. It just went like that, and I was like, right, that's it. Drums, 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 drums. So yeah, it was like that basically. And then yeah, I was away, and nothing else really mattered. It was just that was it.
And what an incredible player to like see in that situation.
Mate,
Yeah, I know he's recently retired, but
yeah.
he's a powerhouse.
Oh God, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just mesmerizing. And I used to, still would go and sit behind him, and not that long ago, and still have the same effect. It was just like unbelievable drummer, and he was so good to me as well. Like, he helped me get my like cymbal drum deals and stuff, and bits of advice and stuff. And yeah, he's been very very good to me over the years. Lovely lovely guy and unbelievable drummer.
And you talked about your first drum kit there for Christmas. What, if you can remember, what was that first kit?
It was I don't know how you say it. It was like Hohner, like
Oh,
Honer or something.
Honor or Honer, yeah.
Yeah, like but it was like a tiny. There's a photo of me playing it actually that my dad sort of unearthed not that long ago. And it's a red. It was like a. It was just a snare rack floor kick and then a hi hat and then like one cymbal that was connected to the 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 kick drum. I think it was just like one cymbal at the top. It was really weird, but that's what I learnt on. But my first proper kit, because that was like a tiny little kids kit, basically. My first proper kit was a Premier Cabria kit
Right.
when I was maybe 11, 10 or 11, maybe something like that. That was my first like full size kit, and I had that for years. Played my first band gigs with it and did stuff, lots of stuff with it. Really, I did even did a recording with it, I think. But yeah, so yeah, those were the two first proper kits, basically.
Okay, so now moving on to what you currently use rather than your 4-year old or 10-year old self. What's your equipment of choice at the moment?
So I'm with Natal right now, and again, so it's George Frederick who's the artist guy. He was with me with Premier, and yeah, he got me over there, and they've got some really exciting things happening, some amazing drums, and the support is just otherworldly. Like, I'm so grateful for what they've done for me. But yeah, they've got some seriously cool stuff going on right now. And Yeah, I'm really excited for what the future holds with them. Definitely. Yeah, they've they made me a maple kit for Twin,
Mm.
which is still up in Glasgow at the moment. And which I remember like going to try this one out. It was 24 by 16, I think it was. It had like had nothing in it, like no padding or anything. And you know how like the biggest drums kind of be like this, like wave, not waving, but like there's nothing in it. You're just thinking, oh, okay, well, whatever. But I just hit it, and I was like, just like roll thunder, and I've got nothing in it at all. Like you know what I mean? It's like, wow, it's incredible. So as soon as I did that, I was like, I had to play it, and yeah, like it got countless like great like feedback from people, like this front of house guys about that kick drum in particular. Yeah, so cymbals I'm with Paiste or Paste. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's Paiste. I still don't know what the actual.
I've always
I've
said
heard both.
Paiste because it's
Yeah, see,
Swiss, isn't it?
it is Swiss, and I've always said Paiste, but then I've said Paiste to a few people, and they've gone a bit like Paste, and I'm like, oh, is it wrong? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's Paiste. And I'm really sorry to if anyone from Paiste is watching this, which they do follow me on social, so they will see this. I'm pretty sure it's Paiste, and I'm sorry if it's wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, again, Nico gracefully sorted me out when I was a lot younger, and I felt like I was, because this was before I was kind of doing it like professionally full time, and I felt like such a fraud because I was like, I don't deserve this. But hopefully over the years I've kind of given something back, I hope. But yeah, great company, great cymbals. I'm using the 602 Modern Essentials in a moment, which I find really beautiful, really nice decay on them, and kind of warm sounding. Yeah, so them, and I use Vic Firth sticks, just the classic 5Bs, nothing special. It's kind of close to what Nico's signature stick is, really. And I grew up watching. I mean, he would just send me loads of sticks. So as a kid, and into my teens and in my 20s, I would just use his signature sticks because that's all I ever used, because he would just send me them, But now, yeah, I've got I use the 5Bs, which is basically the same thing. And yeah, and I've got a DW 9000 single pedal. And I still have a 5000 again, which Nico gave me when I was like 12, which still works like a charm. They're like tanks. They last forever, those things. It's a single chain turbo 5000, which I still love, but I'm just afraid to use it now because I think one day it will just break, and I just don't want that to happen. So yeah, I use a 9000.
Nice. I just to hijack it a little bit there with what you just said. That reminds me of I went to a I don't know what it's called, like an evening with Nico McBrain or whatever, and
Yeah,
in London it was
it's like a drum clinic or
it
something.
was like Bush Hall, I think it was. It must have been
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
15 years ago or something, and
yeah, that's right.
they had like a foot cam projected on the screen, and I
Mm,
remember afterwards as well seeing his pedal, and he was
mm.
using like one of the like bottom of the line Premier pedals, single
Yep,
chain,
yep.
um, and what was the song? I'm so bad with names. The Wicker Man. So he played the Wicker Man,
Yeah, and
and I was just
yeah.
like, I can't believe what I'm seeing. I that
Mm,
was the first time I'd seen someone play something that amazingly with one foot, uh,
mm-hmm.
and that just inspired me to be like, I need to be able to do that. If he can do that with a cheaper pedal, then
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I mean it's phenomenal when you sit behind it and watch it. And that's the thing. It's like because he was the only drummer that existed to me when I was young and learning. Nothing. There was no one else. Like it was just him. Uh, I used to be like, I watch his foot and go, oh, he's got a really fast foot. Well, that's how you do it then. So I would teach myself to do it watching him. But then when I would like later on play in bands and bands that didn't require any fast footwork, I would do it and they'd be like, "What are you doing?" kind of thing. I was like, I thought that's how you play drums, isn't it? I don't know, like because I just didn't know like that was, and it didn't know that was not normal.
Yeah.
Uh, and then you're like, oh, okay, actually, it is a bit, it's not normal to have a foot like that. But yeah, it's phenomenal what he can do. I mean, but he's a huge Bonham fan,
Mm.
so
Mm.
it came from that, So
Cool. And just I'll put this in as a little side note. I think what you've just said there about learning from watching him, I think that's something that I say to people all the time, and especially these days with YouTube and
absolutely, yeah,
dare I say it, all the other, the social media stuff. But there's so much that young drummers can watch, and I think actually these days it's possibly a little bit overwhelming. Like, oh,
hmm
swivel technique, or and it's just like there's all this stuff, and it's like, okay, I I struggle with all that because I learned like you, just
right,
watching VHS videos or whatever of these drummers playing, and
absolutely, yeah,
you just copy. You get as
yeah,
close as you can to get that speed. But
exactly.
there's a lot of different techniques, I suppose, that have emerged recently.
Absolutely, and it's a minefield, really. I've had people ask me like, "What's your technique?" I'm like, "I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, because I don't know. I don't know what I'm. It sounds funny, but it's true. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't. I was never taught. I don't know any rudiments. I don't know any theory. I don't know anything. But you just, it's all by ear. So I don't know what it is. And I've actually tried to work it out myself. Like, I don't know if this is even a technique. I don't know what it is. I'm not. I don't think it is a swivel thing. It could be like a heel toe thing. I don't know.
Mm.
It's funny.
And from that, I think I'll skip a couple of questions and just ask you another one because it's very much linked to what you just said. So you just said about kind of being self-taught with this. So
hmm
when you first get a gig with a new artist, how do you learn the songs? So the options really are: do you just like listen to them, or do you sit down and transcribe everything, or does the artist go, "Oh, here you go, Joe. Here's the book with all the music in it for you to, flick through and just sight read on stage"?
Oh no, yeah, no. I mean, I wish sometimes I get gigs last minute, and I wish I could read music because it would be a lot easier to just go right. Okay, this is it, but I can't do any of that. So I literally just get my headphones in, and I actually don't learn on a drum kit either, because I basically tap on my legs. That's it, and then I transfer it onto a drum kit at a later date. That's still how I learn now because when I was a kid, um, as soon as I got my drum kit, basically my mum and dad divorced, so my drum kit went to my dad's house, and I only got to play once a fortnight, so I wouldn't have the luxury of playing every day. So I would be like, right, okay, I've just got back from my dad's. I've got like nearly 2 weeks to learn some more songs, and I don't have a drum kit. But what do have? I have my hands, my knees, and I would just sit and listen and tap it all out, and then have all these songs in my head, and then get to the kit, and then just go bam, and then just like put it all on a drum kit. And that's still how I learn now. I've had to learn sets on planes like with no rehearsal, and it's quite handy having that because you don't need a drum kit to learn songs on. But yeah, so basically to answer your question, it's just headphones in, tap on the knees, and until it's in there really, and then yeah, that's it.
Nice. And then have you had it where you then get to the rehearsal stage or whatever? Let's say, it's a gig that you've been given notice for and you've learned
hmm
it all, and you get to the rehearsal stage. Do things then change at rehearsal stage? Do you have to be able to take on constructive criticism? Oh, can you not play all those really fast kick drums that you're playing?
Oh, this is the funny thing. Obviously, becoming a session drummer, like you know how to play to serve the song, and you quickly go right. Okay, that's not needed. Luckily, before I became a professional session drummer, I worked that out beforehand, so which was good. I saved myself a lot of embarrassment of like, what are you doing? Like this isn't like you. But yeah, I mean, of course, like I'm always open to. I love hearing ideas because I thrive, I bounce off of that. So like, I'll come up with something, but I like hearing, oh, maybe try this. Oh yeah, of course, I didn't think of that. I love that kind of stuff. So I like working on the spot. I like that feeling of being in the moment. rather than things being overly rehearsed or over thought about, which you can easily get in your own head and overthink everything. Um, so I quite like the fact of just being in a room and having someone going, "Oh, try that," or "Oh, I might try this," that kind of thing. I really like that environment.
Can you tell us more about the Back to the Beginning Sabbath show that you teched on?
Yeah. So yeah, crazy. Well, basically, I had a ticket booked. I bought a ticket with Mike Venart and our friend Carvis. We were going to go all together, and yeah, bought a Golden Circle ticket like for way too much money, really. But so anyway, so last year I was drum teching for Dave Lombardo for Mr. Bungle, and the like front of house TM guy. He runs a company called STS, which are a backline company in Manchester, and they were supplying all the backline for the Black Sabbath gig. So he messaged me and was like, "Hey man, what are you doing from the 1st to the 6th of July? I need a drum tech." And I was like, "Oh, I'm going to see Sabbath on the 5th." And he was like, "Oh, it's for the Sabbath gig. It's for that." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, so I like sold my ticket and then went to work it, and it was the most incredible experience ever. It was being around all those guys, like because I was teching on the super groups, so I was in all the rehearsals. So it was mad, like just having all these legends just in a room, and you're like one of only a handful of people watching them rehearse. Like at the stadium, it was in the room backstage at the stadium all week. So yeah, it was like Travis Barker, Chad Smith, Danny Carey, Mike Borden, and the guy from Sleep Token. Um, and and then there was like it was like Steve Tyler, like Rudy Sarzo, Tom Morello, Noonan Betancourt. It was just madness. But yeah, it was like it was the most crazy thing ever. Everyone was so nice, so nice. I had a nice chat with Chad Smith, and I got Travis Barker's drumstick from the drum off he did with Danny Carey and Chad Smith. Um, which was cool. I've got like a nice physical memento, that souvenir from the day now. So yeah, it was amazing. Again, just really bizarre and really like it was it was mental. It was hard to process, all those people in one place. It was like Heavy Metal Live Aid.
Yeah.
It was it was insane the way that the stage worked, where it would just flip, you know, the backdrop will come up and it would flip around, and you set the other band up. It was crazy. It was long days and crazy work, but it was unbelievable to be able to watch all those bands from the side of the stage and meet so many cool people. And yeah, it was just a really cool day, and like they'll never happen again.
This one, we've had some funny answers too over all the interviews. Have you ever had anything go wrong on stage that you've had to recover from? Kind of in the moment, you've had to think quickly and recover from it without making it really obvious.
Um, you know what? I haven't really had any major catastrophes. I did a couple of things. I One gig. I was playing Download Festival, and the very last. I'm so lucky it happened here. I mean, it's not even a catastrophe because no one knew. Not even any of the band knew. But the very last snare drum hit, I did like a flam before I did like a end. I put both sticks through the snare head at the very last hit. And one of my hands got caught in it, and I managed to bring one up to do the like cymbal choke bang, but the other one was just kind of stuck in the snare drum because it was just went straight through. But no one really, because I still made the thing, but it was quite funny. I do remember that quite well. I mean, imagine that. Like, imagine the chances of that happening. Like at the very last thing, stick both through. I kind of just laughed it off. Really, it was funny. But yeah, had that happened in the first song, that would have been a
Yeah.
shocker.
Was it your snare drum or was it a rental?
That's a very good question. I'm going back quite a long time now. I think it was. I think it must have been mine because I would have played my. I mean, I wouldn't have like flown in for it. I would have. I was on a tour, so yeah. I think it would have been mine. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a bit, a bit embarrassing for me because I probably should have changed the head. Um, but yeah. But I had this one time. It wasn't really anything that I had done wrong, but I was playing with a band called Voodoo Six, and we were supporting Iron Maiden. We did like a 3 month European tour with Maiden, and we were playing in Malmo football stadium. And our intro music was the Great Escape theme tune. Like, duh, 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 duh. So I would always go out first and then sit down the kit, and then the backline tech ran out behind me, but behind a scrim. But in doing so, kicked all the power out to the stage. So I don't know what's going on. I'm just sat there, and then it finishes, da, 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 bam, bam, and the bass player starts the set with a bass riff, and then there's nothing and no one on stage with me. So I look across, and this guy's sat here. No one can see him. He's like frantically trying to plug everything back in, and then and the people haven't even got in their guitars on because they're just like on the side of the stage, and there's like 40,000 people just staring at me in silence, and I was just like, it was a proper like Garth moment where it's like, I'm okay,
Drum
and
solo.
yeah, well, yeah, and that's not me. I was just like, if I get off the kit, that's going to look really stupid. But if I stay here, that also looks really stupid. So what the hell do I do? It was like 30 seconds, but it felt like 30 years. And yeah, I'll never ever forget that moment of everyone just looking at me like, what now? And I was like, your guess is as good as mine.
I've had
So yeah.
I had a similar incident where we were on playing the intro to Highway Star, and the singer comes on, after the intro, and he tripped over something, and
Ah,
it had been plugged in badly on the stage, and yet everything
oh no.
went, and I was the only thing going, and I'm like, what do I do? There wasn't really
Oh,
a choice. We just had to stop.
well, yeah, exactly. That's one of those moments where you're like, what is, what? You just stood there like that. What? You
It's
just hope that you get it together back quick.
it proves that it's live music.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Which is the human element, which is, especially these days, you want to keep that as much as possible.
Yes. Now we've talked about how you learn the songs and things like that. This one has been tricky for some people to answer. What's the highlight of your career so far?
Oh wow, that is really tricky. It seems like such like a normal question to ask, but it is but it's difficult. Um, I mean, it would be easy for me to say like something on the nose, like playing the O2 Arena or whatever, or doing, which was amazing, or supporting Muse, or which was also incredible. Um, but I think that like the highlight or the proudest moment for me was, so I play drums for Mike Venart, who was in the band called Ocean Size, and he now plays live guitar for Biffy Clyro. Um, I am an Ocean Size super fan, like, and they were one of the first bands that just blew me away that wasn't Iron Maiden. So going back a little bit as a side story to this, so until I was about 13, I would only listen to Iron Maiden. Like nothing else existed to me, which was a bad idea. But at the time, I was just obsessed, obviously, with Nico and with Maiden and everything, and like And my uncle Steve said to me, "If you want to do this properly," he said, I love that you're into Maiden. That's great. I'm really, appreciate that. But if you want to do this properly, you've got to listen to other things. You've got to stop listening to us, which was really good advice because other people would try to get me to do it and I wouldn't do it. But then as soon as he told me, I was like, all right, okay. So then like he was telling me to listen to like Sabbath and Led Zeppelin and UFO. And I now play drums for Phil Mogg from UFO, which is weird. But anyway, as soon as he said that, I started listening to other stuff. Now I went to watch Biffy Clyro play, and Oceansize were supporting them, and I was blown away by Oceansize, like just blown away, like and Biffy Clyro, of course, as well. I remember that gig very well. Both bands are very, very influential to me. But with Oceansize, I just like it was. I don't know what happened. Something happened, and so I just became overnight just obsessed with them. And then weird turn of events, I ended up meeting Mike, supporting Oceansize with my old band, and then him producing my band's album, and then me playing drums for him, and then playing live with him. And we played some Oceansize songs with two other members of Oceansize. So there's one song in particular called Music for a Nurse, which was one of my favorite songs, still is, ever. And I just remember playing that on stage with them. I just was like, how is this? How have I got to this moment? How has this happened? Just because when I first heard that song and was obsessed with it, I never ever would have thought I'd play it with the band, and then do 2 records with him as well. So yeah, that's a massive highlight for me, just as a full circle moment. How have I got to this point? And yeah, I love playing for Mike. I'm going to do some more stuff with him, so I'm looking forward to that for sure. Nice. Sorry, that was a really long-winded way of saying.
It's a very good answer. Excellent. And also, while we're talking about, you just mentioned Biffy Clyro. What a drummer, Ben. Honestly,
I'm seriously, man. I've got to know Ben, and I'm very lucky, and he's a lovely, lovely guy, and I fanboy over him, and I can't help it. He's just like, he was the first drummer like that I heard that made me think differently on a drum kit. Like I first heard Black and Sky when I was like 15 or something, and it blew. It just, everything just is one of those moments where you're like, oh well, first of all, there's more to life than Iron Maiden. That's the first thing I thought. And I was like, oh my god, this guy's using like the rim of the snare, or the rims a lot, and he's doing this like really interesting linear drum stuff, and this like like creativity, like real creativity, like hooks, drum hooks. And and to this day, I still get on a drum kit and go, what would Ben do? Like just unbelievable drummer. So much feel, and he never makes a mistake. He's precision. He never ever makes a mistake. He's a machine. He's so good. It makes me sick. Yeah. And I've stolen so much stuff from him. Sorry, Ben. I have, I can't help it. It's just, he's incredible.
If you're watching this and you want to watch an interview with Ben Johnston from Biffy Clyro, then check it out on our YouTube channel. Another tricky question now. If you had to pick just one, who would be your all-time favourite drummer?
I mean, it could easily be Ben Johnston, to be fair.
Right.
I mean, as far as him, or I mean, John Bonham is for me. I know it's on the nose. I know a lot of people would say that, but being a rock drummer, all roads lead to John Bonham. Really, like, it's just, when you go back, it's like he also so musical, just a powerhouse. Just I'm a John Bonham obsessed fan, basically. All his feel, like he had his own pocket. Like, it's so hard to replicate that. Like, almost impossible, really.
Now we're on to the most anticipated question of this interview series, and that is, what's your favourite biscuit?
Favourite biscuit? I do love a biscuit, you know. I think, you know what? I think I'm gonna have to go for a ginger nut.
Oh, controversial. Okay.
Very controversial. Only because, like, it reminds me of like being at my nan's house. Like, when I was a kid, there would always be ginger nuts about, and I would just scoff them all. and I haven't had one for quite a long time, but that was always my go-to biscuit for a long time. And yeah, it reminds me of my nan, like being at hers. So yeah, like that's a nice thing. But yeah, I'd say a ginger nut. I don't, have you ever? Has anyone said that before? I want to be the first ginger nut.
No, I think we've had a few ginger nuts, but not that many.
Okay,
Um,
you would usually get a custard cream, right, or a chocolate bourbon.
yeah, there's been a few strange ones. Are they called Stroop waffles or something as well?
Oh, they're amazing.
I think that was Bob Knight's choice. Uh,
Right. Okay.
he said
Okay.
about putting it over a hot cup of coffee and like melting it. Um,
Yeah, they're very good. Very good.
so
Um,
yeah, but is that a biscuit?
well, this is the thing. Like, I mean, I suppose technically it is, but it's European, isn't it? It's they're Dutch,
Mm.
so maybe that's a Dutch biscuit. Who knows? But I mean, that's it probably toes the line, doesn't it, between a biscuit and a cake?
Well, it's same, just like a Jaffa cake, really.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
it's called a Jaffa cake, but people say it's a biscuit.
Yeah. What's the whole thing about it? Like, if it goes stale, it goes hard, which means no, hang a minute. What's there's a thing about it going stale. Like they do different things. A biscuit
Yeah,
and a cake do different things.
I think,
Yes, right. Yeah, a biscuit goes soft
yeah,
and a cake goes hard.
that's it.
Yeah. So
So
the Jaffa cakes go.
A Jaffa cake would go hard, I think, because it's soft anyway, isn't it?
True.
So
True.
yeah,
I think there we go. I think we've solved it.
solved. There you go. And while we're talking about food and stuff, actually, I'll just throw another question at you. You know, for the people you've played for and the things you've done over the years, um, in terms of like dressing rooms and riders and things like that, have you got any interesting stories about that? I remember, I think it was Vinny from Less Than Jake, and I asked him about this, and he said that they asked for a shotgun on their rider. Obviously this was
Wow.
in the US. But yeah, have you got any kind of stories like that?
You know what? Everyone I've played for has had a pretty tame rider.
Mm.
I don't know if I've. I mean, I could have just made something up, but I didn't want to. I'm not going to do that. No, I mean, like everyone's pretty. I don't think there's been anything mad. What was um oh there was a venue I played recently, and the band the night before still had like there was these random like a photo like these random photos in the dressing room, and I was like, what to the promoter? I was like, what are these? And it's like, oh, the band last night this was part of their rider. They wanted one of them was like a happy photo of Samuel L. Jackson or something like that, like or yeah, one a photo of him smiling or something like that, and I was like, that's hilarious and weird. But yeah, like that's the only thing I can say, which was just by proximity. I just happened to be in the room the next night. But but yeah, I mean, actually, anything I mean, yeah, I've never asked anything personally crazy on a rider. I'm very easily pleased. Um, but yeah, no, sorry. The answer's not any more interesting than that. I mean, I can't think of anything that's been pretty mad.
No, it's all good.
Maybe I should do that now, and then next time I'll have a better answer
Yeah.
for you. I'll think of something crazy, and then I'll let you know.
Yeah. Well, for the next show you do, just put ginger nuts on there.
There we go, sorted.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Consider it done. I'd love a ginger nut after a gig or before a gig as well.
The bit that you've just said right there, that's absolutely the little tagline for the advert. I'd love a ginger nut. That can be the little advert.
Oh, brilliant! I love that. At least it's natural.
So my last question for you, Joe, if you could give one piece of advice to your younger self when you first started playing drums, what would that be?
Don't worry too much and enjoy yourself. Like I mean, I have done that to be fair, but then there are times where you're just like, oh, like you just get stuck in your own head and you're like, oh God. But I don't know, things have a way of working themselves out, and you kind of just you there's absolutely no point in worrying about something that's out of your control. So you just got to try and enjoy it as much as you can, and that kind of goes with life as well, I think. but yeah, especially with drums, you just got to just enjoy yourself. So I just tell myself to enjoy the ride because you don't know when it's going to stop. So just keep enjoying it. Yeah, pretty on the nose there for you, but still, I think it's true.
Thanks for giving up your time to do a DrumWise Meets today.
Thank you very much for having me. It's an absolute honor. The people that you've had on this show, it's like when you asked me, I was like, oh wow, okay, big leagues, brilliant. Thank you very much.